That's right. There is so much good news, so much winning out of the Trump White House right now that the mainstream legacy media.
If you don't have anything to say, you blab. You just go on and 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 on.
Make a point to prove a point. Put him in the clink. Oh, why not? Put him in the clink.
Voters do not agree with these despicable women on The View. They are wildly out of touch with the vast majority of Americans, and frankly, they should seek immediate help because voters are going to re-elect President Trump back to the White House very soon.
Karoline Leavitt just schooled Whoopi Goldberg. It was brutal and left the host scrambling for words. Karoline Leavitt is Trump's White House press secretary and one of the youngest women to serve as a national press secretary for a major political campaign. She has recently been in the spotlight for her sharp takes on the media and her confidence in handling tough questions.
I am stating facts that your colleagues have stated in the past.
Okay,
now, as
I'm
for
sorry,
this
guys.
debate,
We're going to come back out to the panel. Karoline, thank you very much.
The young lady claimed her, quote, on-air snub proves that you know who will not be treated fairly in the upcoming debate. Now, do you think this is going to make people doubt whether CNN can stay objective, or is this more the same of, it's all, everybody's against me?
Whoopi called her young lady like she was talking down to her, and Anna's take was just as predictable.
Rigged, I tell you! Is everything rigged?
No, it's their MO.
I always wonder what they give these women who are like spokespeople for him, because like Kellyanne Conway and this woman, they can go for so long without taking a breath.
She is saying random stuff to make Trump look bad instead of responding to Karoline's point. This is what they always do. They distract, deflect, and throw insults when they can't argue with facts.
Don't have anything to say. You blab. You just go on and on and on. That's what you hear.
Yeah.
When they don't have anything to hold you with, nothing to make you think about what they have to say, they talk at you, not to you. And that's what she was doing. And she was doing it, and it's not new.
No.
They act like conservatives are just playing the victim, but CNN's track record speaks for itself. They always portray conservatives as the problem, and The View never misses a chance to go after Trump. From the assassination talk to the Elon Musk comments, they don't know when to stop.
ABC having just paid $15 million for a defamation lawsuit would think not to engage in conspiracy theories about assassination attempts, but I guess that's too much to ask from The View.
But they have been wrong about everything they have said over the last couple of years. They likened President Trump to Hitler. They have mocked him. They have shamed him. They have lied about him consistently on their...
The View loves to call everyone else conspiracy theorists, yet they're the ones pushing the wildest nonsense on TV.
We're also opening up this briefing room to new media voices who produce news-related content and whose outlet is not already represented by one of the seats in this room.
And that was, she said, there will be no wokeness here.
Oh, yeah.
Let me explain something to you, because without that wokeness, you might not have that job.
Whoopi twisted things into a personal attack like she always does.
Women were not invited to many tables in this nation. The reason we fought and busted our behinds to make sure that you didn't have to worry about this. And now to hear you talk about it, and to hear anybody talk about the wokeness was put in place for a reason.
She goes on a rant about wokeness and how Karoline should be grateful for it. But if they listen, they'd know she never said women shouldn't be in power. She called out the system for prioritizing identity over merit.
The View co-hosts want to see Donald Trump get thrown in jail. Roll it.
To make a point, to prove a point, put him in the clink. Oh, why not? Put him in the clink.
I don't want this to sound like I'm doing wishful thinking.
Yes.
But which prison would be best? You know, I'm okay if he goes to Alcatraz and they reopen it.
Now, they're openly talking about putting Trump in prison.
Voters do not agree with these despicable women on The View. They are wildly out of touch with the vast majority of Americans, and frankly, they should seek immediate help because voters are going to re-elect President Trump back to the White House very soon, because voters see these trials that are being brought forward against President Trump for what they are. They are sham show trials. They are election interference in an attempt to imprison President Trump.
They think they are swaying voters, but it's the opposite.
Biden and the Democrats and these ladies on The View constantly say President Trump is the alleged threat to democracy, when in fact they themselves are wishfully thinking that President Trump will be imprisoned when he has not been convicted of any crime.
Most Americans see right through them and are less concerned about the woke culture and more about real issues.
To democracy, voters see that, and that's why President Trump continues his dominance in the polls, not just with Republicans and independents, but he's also picking up historic gains with Democrat constituencies such as African Americans, Hispanic Americans, and union workers.
The View hosts claim to be liberal feminists, but say the most outrageous things when it comes to conservative women.
By the way, I think she's probably been put in there because, according to Donald Trump, she's a 10. You know that's what it is.
I want to be clear, though. It's not her first job. It was her first press briefing. She worked in the previous Trump administration.
This is the first time that she's been she may be. But my point is that job would not maybe have been open to her.
No, I understand. I just wanted
us.
to clarify that.
Yeah.
To them, she got the job based on her looks. These are the same women who scream about sexism and feminism, but have no problem using it against someone they don't like.
Progressive. Let's bring in Sky News contributor Kosha Garda.
This word wokeness didn't look like she really understood what it meant, or certainly the way Karoline Leavitt meant it when she made that statement, and she was conflating it with civil rights and how, you know, women didn't have the right to vote or own property and all of that. That has nothing to do with wokeness, which is, of course, about putting people in there because of their immutable characteristics rather than the merit that they bring to the table.
They twist people's words and attack them for it. Karoline called out the system for its flaws and how it's taken a wrong turn in society, but somehow that turned into a history lesson on women's rights. The people on Fox News took it personally and attacked Joy Behar for her comment.
Isn't it rich that The View is saying she got the job based on looks when DEI is all about based on... But you know what, Dana, you were a press secretary. She look like she's in over her head?
No.
Thank you.
She'll be great. She's young, but she's wise beyond her years, and she has access to the president, which is something.
Dana, a former press secretary who knows what it takes, shuts down the nonsense.
And Joy Behar and those guys, of course this was going to happen. This is why conservative women just have to move on, do their thing, and not worry about the criticism from folks like at the View.
Behar calls her a 10. I mean, how dare she objectify a woman with a sexist rating system, but it's such a typical thing from a 1.5.
Well,
her comment earned a lot of backlash from political voices like Charlie Kirk and Megyn Kelly.
I think she's probably been put in there because, according to Donald Trump, she's a 10. You know that's what it is.
I want to be clear, though. It's not her first job. It was her first press briefing. She worked in the previous Trump administration.
Charlie Kirk called Joy Behar's comment disgusting and anti-woman, saying it was bitter and made no sense after Karoline Leavitt handled the media so well. Megyn Kelly, a former Fox News anchor and political commentator, pushed back too, saying Joy Behar's claim wasn't true and was meant to insult Karoline. It was clearly slander, and they need to step back before it turns into a bigger problem.